Hello, this is Christopher and Sherry Nelson coming from the Ceres Seventh-day Adventist Church. We're live streaming tonight, and we're looking forward to Chef G.W. Chu doing a plant-based cooking school for us. You know, 4 weeks ago tonight, we had Dr. Milton Mills, and that was an outstanding program, wasn't it?
It was amazing. We learned so much from Dr. Mills, and so now we're going to apply what we learned and learn more about plant-based cooking with G.W. Chu. We are so looking forward to it. His food is so delicious, and the recipes are fantastic, so you want to try these at home. You may be someone who has already been plant-based, or you may be someone who's thinking about going plant-based, or going a little bit at a time. This will be perfect for you. You may have a few minutes, so make sure you tell your friends and tell them to tune in as well. We're going to have the recipes to this presentation. They're going to be on the website, on the church's website, and that will be put into the chat. So tomorrow you can go to the website and get the recipes. So don't worry about writing everything down. I'm looking forward to this. What about you?
Absolutely.
Yes,
can't wait.
This is great. We want to also thank the NAACP for distributing some of the flyers and promoting this wonderful event. We really wanted to get the word out. People are interested in health, and we want to be as healthy as we can, especially during this time of this pandemic. So without further ado, you're going to give us a prayer?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Father in heaven, we just thank you so much that you have the ideal diet for us, and Chef Chu tonight will demonstrate how to do that, and we're praying a special blessing on him and all those that are watching and listening and learning. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay, we're going to jump right in, but we're going to hear more about, a little bit about your story, G.W. Chu. So he's going to tell us a little bit about his journey. So thank you so much.
Well, good evening. I'm so excited to be here for this live stream tonight. You probably are wondering what my name is. If you see on my shirt, my actual last name is spelled C-H-E-W, so my last name is actually Chu. As I like to say, as I always say, going to give you something to chew on. So I was really excited. I actually like to say I was born with the mission, born with the purpose, born to change lives one chew at a time. So I'm really excited tonight. We're going to be having some delicious, when I say delicious, I mean mouth-watering, plant-based, 100% vegan. It's going to be delicious, and we're going to show you guys how to make it right at home. Some of you guys are probably wondering some about myself. You know, some people always ask me, say, when did I actually go vegan? How did I actually start this lifestyle? Believe it or not, I've been a vegan for over 20 years right now. I actually started literally back in 2000, it literally hit my 20-year anniversary. I actually grew up in the country. I actually grew up in Maryland. I grew up in a place that was a pretty rural place. My father, believe it or not, was a sharecropper, and we ate a lot of meat growing up. I mean, everything from fried chicken, the ribs, the pork chops, the ham, you name it, we ate it. But the sad reality is at a young age, I started seeing many of my family members having lifestyle diseases. Many of my aunts and uncles began having heart disease, diabetes, cancer, many type of lifestyle diseases that they started getting, believe it or not, in their early 40s. Some of them started seeing it, those signs in their 30s. And then by the time they were 50, many of my uncles and aunts actually died prematurely. And that was a very devastating situation, just seeing my family members, die that early. And so as I was growing up, I was introduced to the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and the Seventh-day Adventist Church is known for eating vegetarian. So this is like in the 80s and the 90s. So again, I was growing up eating all of this meat, and I found myself, my uncle and my aunt was Seventh-day Adventist, and they had me over for dinner, and I had a delicious vegetarian meal. It was kind of different. But at the same time, I was getting used to something different, but they made it taste good. They made vegetarian food taste good. And as I was actually experiencing this vegetarian food, I actually started, saying to myself, how can I make the things that I love taste good? So by the time I was 18, again, I was the guy that would go to KFC, would go to Popeyes, and I loved my fried chicken. And eventually I said to myself, can I learn how to make a plant-based vegan chicken that tastes just as good as my mama used to make it? And I started experimenting, started getting excited about recipes, and started getting vegetarian cookbooks, vegan cookbooks, and started experimenting on how to take the things that I love the most and pretty much veganize it. And so literally replace, the ingredients that had meat or dairy or cheese and find substitutes that can actually give me that same experience that I was familiar with. And so again, I started my plant-based journey when I was 18 years old. And I can say to you today, 20 years later, I've actually have a product here. We call it Better Chew. Like to say better texture, better taste, better chew. So it looks like chicken, tastes like chicken, but guess what? It ain't chicken. It's crispy on the outside and it's white in the middle. Oh, it's delicious. And it's so exciting because, again, I literally started my personal journey going into the kitchen and just taking simple ingredients, things like oats and rice and garbanzo beans and brown rice and black beans. There's different ingredients that, were plant-based, cashews and there's different things, and started learning how to actually make these things taste good. And since then, again, I pretty much have a restaurant in Oakland, California called the Veg Hub. It's a nonprofit restaurant sponsored by the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And I've actually had 3 restaurants over the last 12 years. So I've been cooking food for a very long time. And tonight, we have a really cool cooking class. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make some of the best, I like to call it my not-so-scrambled eggs. And it's literally not made with the eggs, but it's made with something that you're going to probably say it tastes disgusting, but I'm going to show you the secrets of how to make it. I'm also going to make some of my delicious, I like to say my mama's greens. You know what I'm saying? My mama's greens. We're going to make some delicious soul food greens using some kale and some cabbage. Going to show you some simple techniques on that. We're also going to make an egg omelet. Believe it or not, you can make a vegan egg omelet. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. The first thing I'm going to teach you guys how to do is make something that we all love. We all love cheese. Can you guys say cheese at home? I can't see you right now. I know you're there. I know you're having a good time. But can you say cheese? And so listen, we're going to learn how to make cheese right at home. And again, it's simple ingredients we're going to use. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. And I'm going to bring my ingredients over. I'm going to bring my ingredients over, and it's a really simple recipe that I'm going to be using. So one of the key tools that you need in a vegan kitchen is simply a blender. Right here, I got a pretty powerful blender. It's actually a Vitamix. You might have heard of a Vitamix or a Blendtec, but you got all kind of different types of blenders these days. But it's, simply I got a nice strong mixer, a strong blender. I'm going to actually take my cashews, and again, you're going to be able to get the recipes online tomorrow at the Ceres website. I believe it's Ceres.org, if I'm not mistaken. Ceres Seventh-day Adventist. Okay, CeresAdventist.org. You'll be able to get the recipes tomorrow on their website. So again, CeresAdventist.org. But again, just follow with me. Right here, I have my cashews. I got 1 cup of cashews, and I'm going to actually take my cashews and my carrots. They always wonder and say, how do you make yellow? Most cheese looks yellow, and I'm going to take something that's white and something that's orange, and believe it or not, if I blend them all up, they make the color yellow. But this is a very easy recipe. I actually use this in our restaurant. We make Philly cheesesteaks. I make nachos with it. You can do anything. We're going to actually make this tonight a vegan mac and cheese, and we're going to be using that tonight for this. And so again, I got 1 cup of cashews, and I'm going to use 1 cup of water. So again, 1 cup of cashews and 1 cup of water. So I'm going to go ahead and get my cashews in, and I got my 1 cup of water. All right, so 1 cup of cashews, 1 cup of water. All right, so I got my 1 cup of cashews, my 1 cup of water. I'm going to go ahead and blend this up. This is actually making something called a cashew base. It's called a cashew base. And we're going to use this same recipe in a little bit to make a salad dressing, but it's called a cashew base. It's 1 cup of cashews to 1 cup of water. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this until it gets nice and creamy. Again, 1 cup of cashews and 1 cup of water. Make sure my blender's good. Don't want anything flying off here. All right. So I'm going to turn this on. All right. I'm not getting any power here. 1 second. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna blend this until it's nice and creamy. All right. There we go. All right, so here we go. We got a nice, about a 1 minute. It's gonna make a nice creamy texture. All right, so here we go. And you're gonna find that the cashew nut is actually a powerful nut because it's full of natural fats, and it actually makes a really good texture when it comes to dressings, cheese sauces, gravies. I'm gonna pour it out so you kind of can see it here. So here I got I call it my cashew base. It's a nice creamy texture, and again, a nice blender can get it blended up really nice and creamy. And again, I'm going to use this a little bit later to make my own delicious, natural, 100% vegan salad dressing from scratch here in a second. But right now, we're making a cheese sauce. And again, so I like to keep my area clean. Got this nice little area here I'm working on. Let me go ahead and wipe that up. All right, so next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to actually take carrots. I actually took these carrots and I boiled them. Just simply boiled them till they were soft. And I've already done that before I got here. So I got some nice, simple carrots. Again, I'm going to make like a baby food texture. I'm going to make a baby food puree with this, okay? So I'm literally going to take my blender, and I'm just going to throw my carrots in here. I'm going to throw a little bit of water. All I want to do is simply get it to a baby food texture. So I don't want it to be runny. I just want it to be like a puree. So I'm going to put a little bit of water, kind of just to fill up the carrots so that it fills the carrots to the top. And then from there, we're going to blend this up. And then after that, we're going to mix our carrots puree and our cashew base to make a very simple cashew cheese. So here we go. All right. Doesn't take long. All I'm doing is simply getting it to a puree. That's all I'm doing. All right. Here we go. All right, that's done. All right, so I got a cashew puree already ready to go. Going to go ahead. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do 1 cup of cashews, and I'm going to do 1 cup of the cashew base and 1 cup of the carrot puree. So 1 cup of the cashew base and 1 cup of the carrot puree, and that's going to be my foundation for my cheese sauce. I'm going to add a little bit of extra ingredients to give it that flavor pop. So here we go. All right. So I got my carrot puree here. Really simple. And this is a very healthy cheese. Obviously, we know that cheese is one of those things that's been one of our worst enemies because, you know, we put cheese on everything. I mean, you think about all the foods we put cheese on it. I know a lot of times you make mac and cheese, you put 4 different types of cheeses in it. So all that cholesterol, all that fat. But again, you can make a healthy cheese right at home, again, using carrots. Carrots is actually full of fiber, beta-carotene. It's such an amazing vegetable. Many times we don't like carrots because it's so bulky, but again, you can puree this, and it makes a great filler ingredient to balance off the cashews. So again, all the fiber inside the carrots is going to balance off with the fat that's in the nuts and make a very healthy cheese sauce. So what I'm going to do, 1 cup of carrot puree, and then 1 cup of my cashew base, and that's going to be my foundation for my cheese sauce, okay? So again, it's a 1 cup ratio to 1 cup ratio. So 1 cup of the cashew puree to 1 cup of the cashew base. So that's really simple, all right? 1 cup of the cashew base to 1 cup of the carrot puree. Really easy to do, all right? So here we go. All right, so here we go, boom. Throw that in there. All right. My next step I'm going to do here, I'm going to actually take a very simple ingredient. This is an ingredient you can get at most health food stores. So I think they have Sprouts here in the Modesto area, but any natural food store would have this ingredient. It's actually called nutritional yeast flakes. I think there's a Winco here in this area as well. You can actually go to Winco and actually get nutritional yeast flakes. But nutritional yeast flakes is a very powerful ingredient. All I did was take the nutritional yeast flakes, add a little bit of salt, garlic powder, onion powder, some simple ingredients to kind of give it some more flavor. I'm going to add this to the carrot puree and cashew base, and it's going to give me a nice natural cheese flavor. What makes the natural nutrition yeast flakes a very key ingredient for the vegan kitchen is that it actually has natural what they call glutamates. So it gives you that natural savory taste that we all love. So things like cheese and meat has something called glutamates, And nutritional yeast flakes also has naturally occurring glutamates that actually is very healthy. And nutritional yeast flakes is very high in B vitamins. So anything like your B12s, your B7s, I mean, all the list of the Bs, you can get it right here. Many people don't want to go vegan because they feel like they can't get their B vitamins. And you'll find this, all the B vitamins you need will be found right here in the nutritional yeast flakes. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of the nutritional yeast flakes right in here. I'm going to just put that right inside of here. And it's really easy. I'm just going to blend this up. And voila, I have a delicious cheese sauce I'm going to have from scratch, literally made in minutes. I'm going to be using it for my actual mac and cheese, all right? So let's see what happens here. And we're going to see how white and orange makes yellow. Let's see how it goes. All right. About 1 minute, we should be ready to go. All right. All right, here we go. So here we go. Got my cheese sauce ready to go. Put a bowl over here. Put this back here in the meanwhile. All right, so I'm going to put my cheese sauce to the side here. I'm going to get ready for my next recipe. But we're going to have our cheese sauce here in a second. And right here, I got my cheese sauce ready to go. I got a cheese sauce ready to go. Looks like Velveeta cheese. It's really easy to make. Like I said, right at home. Really easy to make. And we're going to use this for our actual mac and cheese. And it's going to be a really simple ingredient I'm going to use. What I'm going to show you guys next is from the cashew base that I made earlier, I'm going to actually make a natural, really simple vegan salad dressing. And so again, many of you guys go to the store. Salad dressing is really expensive, especially when it's vegan. It might be like $5, $6 a bottle. And again, I'm going to show you guys how to make a really a nice, simple vegan salad dressing for less than $1. So it's a really simple recipe and something that you guys can make right at home. Really easy to do. And I'm going to show you guys the secrets of how to do this. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually get the cashews that we had earlier. I got some more cashews over here. So I'm going to take the cashews again. I'm going to do 1 cup of cashews, all right, to 1 cup of water, all right. And this is, again, our base. And the cashew base is really a powerful ingredient because a lot of salad dressings have oil and it has water. And so, but what happens is that when you want a creamy salad dressing, the oil and water typically doesn't mix well. Obviously, oil and water doesn't mix, but the cashew base works as a natural emulsifier. So when you make the cashew base and you actually mix that with and you blend that with the water and the oil, it actually emulsifies, and meaning it brings all the ingredients together and makes it pretty amazing. So again, I got the cashews right here. I'm going to blend this up. I'm going to make a simple cashew base. I'm going to blend this up. And right after that, I'm going to add my water and my oil, and I'm going to add some flavoring. I'm actually going to make a cucumber dressing, okay? So I'm going to blend this up. All right. All right, so about 30 seconds. We should be ready to go. And so, again, you guys are probably wondering at home, like, how's this going to taste? But I guarantee you, if you have a chance, we have a restaurant in Oakland called the Veg Hub, the Veg, V-E-G-H-U-B. Just check out the reviews. We got literally over 400 or 500 5-star reviews online. And the same recipes that I'm using tonight are things we're using in the restaurant. So you guys are getting some of the secrets that we're doing right in our restaurant. And I'm telling you, people will love it. So again, they got the cashew base. I'm going to actually add some oil, about a half a cup of oil. Okay, about a half a cup of oil for this recipe. And I'm going to add about a cup of water to this recipe, okay? And again, this is going to be a very easy salad dressing. I'm using olive oil. You can use whatever oil you like. I like to use for my salad dressings extra virgin olive oil. Anything that I like to use. I'm going to put about a cup of water inside of here. And again, remember, the cashew base is being used as an emulsifier. So what I'm giving you guys is a technique on how to make a delicious salad dressing. Again, you got your cashew base, your water, and your oil. That's your base. From there, you can actually go in any direction that you want. Today, I'm going to put a cucumber inside of it. You can add a dill, like fresh dill, or you can add fresh basil. You can add fresh parsley. You can add garlic, or lemon juice. If you want, I don't have any lemons today. I wish I had some lemons. You can actually add some fresh lemons, fresh lemon juice. Any of those things will give you a delicious salad dressing. But the key to the recipe is the cashew base, the water and the oil, and then I'm going to add a little bit more seasoning to this, Again, this is my nutritional yeast flakes. It's another ingredient you can actually use. We're going to be using a little later, but I'm going to show it to you now. It's another ingredient called Bragg's liquid aminos. This is a very powerful ingredient as well. You can use this also as a part of this recipe, kind of giving that nice savory taste. Or you can just keep it simple and add a little bit of salt, a little bit of garlic, or garlic salt, or onion salt, any of those things. But the key is the base ingredients. Again, the cashew base, the water, and the oil. I'm going to add a little bit of cucumbers to this. I'm going to go ahead and cut that up right up. Do about a half a cucumber. Cut it up a little bit. Write my recipe. All right. So I'm going to throw this right in here. All right. And again, I got my creamy from my cashews. The oil adds a little bit of extra fat. I got my water is going to kind of make it a little stretch a little bit. If I wanted to go a little bit more acidic, I can add lemon juice, any kind of acidic kind of dressing or something like that can go with it. And again, you have a delicious, simple dressing made from scratch. And you literally get way more than you get inside the store. And literally it costs no more than $1 to make this. So it's pretty amazing. All right. Looking already good, huh? What do you guys think? I can't see you out there, but I know you're looking at it. And I'm telling you, this is amazing. All right. So again, 30 seconds. We got a delicious salad dressing, after I blend it. And I'm literally ready to make a delicious salad with this right from scratch. Here we go. Oh man, this looks good. I might need to get me some salad right now for this. Come on, this looks amazing. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this into my bowl here so you guys can kind of see it. And I'm going to need some of my helpers to kind of wash some of my bowls. I'm going to need these in a second or two. So I got some of my helpers here. Going to help me out here in a second. You guys can wash this bowl right here for me. Take that for me and wash those out for me. But I'm going to show you guys this really quickly. This kind of how this looks. You guys can see that. And we got literally a delicious salad dressing made from scratch. And again, I wish I had some dill for this, but literally I made a salad dressing in minutes. And again, the concept, remember the key to this recipe was the cashew base, the water and the oil. That's your foundation. That cashew base is what emulsifies, brings the water and the oil together, emulsifies it, locks it in. Added a cucumber, kind of gave it that nice kind of greenish color. Add a little bit of flavoring into it. Again, if I had some lemon juice, I would have added that inside of here. But voila, less than a couple of dollars, you got almost 4 or 5 bottles of salad dressing made right at home, 100% vegan and 100% delicious. So I hope you guys are getting excited because I'm really excited right now. I'm super excited right now because as we continue going, we're going to actually get ready to make our mac and cheese. So we made the cashew cheese, and I have the cashew cheese already behind me. Next thing we're going to do, my mom is actually here from out of town. You can't see her. She's here, though. One of my best friend, my mom. And she's actually taught me the secrets of how to make some of the best mac and cheese. And what I wanted to do when I was a kid, I always, when I became a vegan, I wanted to learn how to veganize my mother's recipes. And this is the one that I learned. And I learned her secret ingredient to her mac and cheese was actually the cream of mushroom gravy, the cream of mushroom. So she always had that secret ingredient, and she used a cream of mushroom gravy as one of her key ingredients to make her mac and cheese nice and creamy, so it doesn't just plop on the plate, but it was like a casserole type mac and cheese. So Mama taught me that secret. I'm going to let you guys know today. And I got permission from Mom to do this, right? Mom, you can't see her, but she's in the audience right now. Can I use the recipe today, Mom? She gave permission, y'all, so we can use the recipe. So what I'm going to do, a little oil in my pan, get that started. I'm going to go ahead and move this out the way. And I'm going to simply, I got my ingredients here. I'm going to actually get I got some garlic. I'm going to put some garlic inside of it. Let me see if I got some garlic here. Got some garlic back here. I'm going to go ahead and get some garlic ready to go. Get that gown on here. Oh, man. Now, you know they don't have smell-o-vision, but it's okay. No smell-o-vision today. I got some garlic right here sauteing. Thank you, thank you. Get my pans coming. All right. So I got my garlic kind of warming up. My pan's a little too hot. Turn it down just a little bit. So what I have here, got the key to this recipe is 1/3 cup flour to 2 cups of water. 1/3 cup flour, 2 cups of water. So I got a little garlic to start it off. I'm gonna put my flour. This is whole wheat flour, and I got 1 cup of, again, 1/3 cup of flour to 2 cups of water. So 1-to-6 ratio. And again, if you get that down, you will never have clumpy gravy ever in your life. 1/3 cup to 2/3 cup. 1/3 cup to 2 cups of water. So 1/3 cup of flour to 2 cups of water. So go ahead and put that down just like that. Go ahead and turn this up some now. All right. Make sure this is on. All right. See if I can get this back on here. There we go. There we go. Perfect. All right. So what we're going to do, let this just cook up. All right. So I got my gravy is going to start cooking. I'm going to add some flavors in here. So again, this is my foundation, the flour and the water. I'm going to add a few extra ingredients. I want it to be creamy. And so I have a few extra ingredients. I'm going to be adding some milk and some vegan butter. So I got some vegan milk. Most of y'all know about soy milk and almond milk or oat milk. You know, this is almond milk country right here. All the almonds we grow out here, Blue Diamond almonds, all those things. But I have a little bit of silk milk here. I'm going to throw some of that inside of here. All right. I'm going to also add me some butter. Got some butter here. There's so many vegan butters on the market. You know, the great thing about 2021 is that we have so many options. We've never seen so many plant-based options. I mean, they have everything from regular butter to canola oil butters or soy oil butters to coconut oils to all kind of different butters. Olive oil butters these days. I mean, you name it, that's out there. So you have so many options. So I'm going to throw a little bit of butter inside of here. A little bit of butter inside of here. And this is simply just adding that creaminess to that a little bit more. And I'm going to add that right to it. And all that flavor starting to pile into that. It's going to be so delicious. And what I'm going to do over here in this other pan, I'm going to actually saute me some mushrooms over here. Get that nice, saute some mushrooms over here while that's cooking. All right. It's starting to smell good in here, y'all. Y'all don't know what I'm smelling right now. Go ahead and move this out the way right here. I wish I can see you guys. You know, this pandemic's been so tough. We can't see each other like we used to. We still got to have that fun. We still got to enjoy life. Still got to enjoy each other. I'm going to go ahead and dice up my mushrooms here. You guys can see this. So I'm going to dice these up. It's going to dice these up like a mince. And I'm going to saute all these up. I got a better knife here. Got me a nice knife here. Here we go. So let me go ahead and let's dice this up. And this is going to be my foundation. Again, and the mushrooms are so powerful. Mushrooms have, again, also has natural occurring glutamates. That's why in a lot of Chinese restaurants, you'll find they use a lot of mushrooms in a lot of the recipes due to the fact that it has those naturally occurring glutamates. So it has that flavor all packed inside of these mushrooms. So when it sautés, it just gives that savory flavor, that savory taste. And so this is amazing. So I'm going to turn this down. My gravy's starting to look really good. Looking amazing right now. So I'm going to get the mushrooms. It's going to cook literally in about a minute, minute and a half. Mushrooms will be ready to go. So I'm just getting these nice and chopped, nice and fine. All right. It's out the way here. All right. There we go. So I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning here. Switching these flakes on here. A little bit of that inside of here. And again, the recipe, you guys, they have the exact recipe tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and get this sauteed up. Get it sauteed really nice. All right. A little bit more oil here. There we go. All right. It's looking good, y'all. Oh, man, looking really good right now. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this all up. Turn this down. I don't know if you guys can see this. The gravy's looking amazing. Oh, wow. Looking delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and get the mushrooms nice and sauteed. And I'm going to add the mushrooms here in a second. And so, again, I have my cheese sauce. I got my gravy. These are going to be my key ingredients for my mushrooms, actually. I'm sorry, for my mac and cheese. And so it's going to be delicious. You can kind of see that right here. Looking some kind of good. Wow. Looking amazing. Oh, look at that, guys. Kind of can see that right here. Mushrooms, all that flavor is coming inside of that. I'm going to turn this down some. About another 30 seconds. I'm going to throw that right into the mac and throw that inside of my gravy, and we're going to be ready to go. All right? Just a little bit longer. Just want to brown it up. Just perfect. Gravy's looking perfect, y'all. I love some good gravy. Nothing like some gravy and some biscuits in the morning time. I know somebody out there that's thinking about it right now. Come on, don't get mad at me now. Y'all probably mad at y'all ain't here. Somebody out there mad at me right now, boy, I tell you. You know if it wasn't COVID, you'd be right up in here smiling. But it's okay. We got samples. So some of y'all have samples, so please be sure to come and get your samples. We got sample trays in the back in the kitchen ready for you. It's like curbside pickup tonight. You can come right to the kitchen and come pick it up. You know, so we got it COVID-friendly, even a cooking class, COVID-friendly. We want to thank the NAACP for their great work. Thank the Ceres Church for their great work. And, oh, man, we got oh, boy, look at that. Look at that. Looks perfect. Looks perfect. That is great. So I got a cream mushroom gravy. I think Mama will be proud. You can't see Mama. She's smiling at me right now. She'll be some kind of proud of me right now. Come on, Mama, be proud at me. Come on. So what I'm going to do, I got my noodles ready to go. All right. Got my noodles ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and put this in a big bowl. Got my noodles right here. All right. Now, one thing I like to do, I want to make sure my noodles has flavor all the way through. So I like to season my noodles. I forgot one last ingredient I want to put inside of my my gravy. I'm going to put a little bit of the brass liquid aminos. Forgot about that. Let me turn this off. I want to burn nothing down here. All right. Got a little bit of the brass liquid aminos inside of my gravy. And again, this is great. I mean, we just had Thanksgiving, just had Christmas. We can go ahead and wash this pan if we can. Be careful with it. Go ahead and wash that for me. So again, we just had Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving. You know, gravy is obviously one of those staples for mashed potatoes. So this recipe right here is perfect for any of that, y'all. Perfect for any of that. So I'm going to get, again, I'm going to add a little bit of seasoning to my noodles. You can just salt it. You don't have to add seasoning. That's what I have right here. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up in here. So I got my seasoning right in here looking good. So I want my flavor, again, salt your noodles, flavor your noodles. I like to flavor my noodles before I cook mine. I want that flavor to be all in there. All right. So I'm going to add my cheese that I made earlier. All right. So got that, my cheese sauce that I made earlier. All right. Boom. My cashew carrot cheese. Again, no cholesterol. Amazing, delicious. Can't go wrong with this. When I first became a vegan, I thought that when I made mac and cheese, I just make a cheese sauce like cashew cheese and mix noodles with it. It's not that great. You need some other extra ingredients to really make this thing just right. So again, the cashew cheese is one ingredient that I want to put in there. I also have my gravy. I'm going to add my gravy to it. All right. Add my gravy right here, right inside of it. All right. Boom. A little bit of my gravy right there. And then my last ingredient is going to be, I have something called a SDA cheese. You can get this at most health food stores. Even your Raley's and Safeways has the same ingredient. I have a blend here. So I got the mozzarella and the cheddar. So I call it my 3 cheese mac and cheese. I got the cashew cheese, then I got the mozzarella vegan cheese and the cheddar vegan cheese, all mixed into this. Going to throw that right inside of there. Simple recipe. Once everything is made, you can mix it all up. Going to mix that just like that, y'all. Oh, man, somebody about to be mad at me, y'all. Woo, come on, talk to me. So you can see that right here. Got my everything mixed up, looking really good. Oh, man, look at that. And, again, got mac and cheese, all creamy. I'm telling you, you can have that same vegan mac and cheese, that same regular mac and cheese that has the real cheese. You can make this at home from scratch. Really easy to do. Again, that you got the cashew cheese that goes inside of it, the cream of mushroom gravy that I put inside of it. This is my noodles, and then I added my cheese blend, and I'm ready to go. Now, obviously, if I was at home in my regular kitchen, I could put it in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes, put it on broil for about 10 minutes. But today I'm going to do something a little different, have a little bit more fun. We're going to do a stovetop mac and cheese. Some of you guys like the craft in the box mac and cheese. I'm going to show you a simple technique. You can actually, this is what we do in the restaurant. We do a griddle top mac and cheese. I'm going to throw that on there just like that. A little olive oil. Got my cheese sauce ready. My kids love this, y'all. And, you know, in our restaurant, a lot of times we actually put the mac and cheese in the sandwich. You know, that's really good, man, putting the mac and cheese on a Philly cheesesteak, all vegan. And you can see right here we make a delicious, look like steak, Tastes like steak, but guess what? It ain't steak. We make a delicious vegan Philly cheesesteak. We actually hoping to get it here in this community in the future. Not yet. We're hoping to get it here, hoping to see how we can actually bring it to this area. But the point is that, again, when you got the right ingredients, when you got the right tools, you can make vegan food taste amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and put this right in the pan, just like that. And voila, you're going to literally see in about 5 or 10 minutes. Let this cook while I get to my next recipe. We literally in 5 or 10 minutes are going to have a delicious vegan stovetop mac and cheese. Stovetop, oh my word, look at that. All right, so what I'm going to do, let it brown, get that brown. I want that browning to get on top of that, y'all. I want that all that love to come out of that food, man. Y'all going to be so mad at me. Boy, you're going to be mad at me tonight, man. I wish y'all was here. But look, 5 minutes, I'll let that go. I'm going to go ahead and get ready for my next recipe. And my next recipe, man, you guys probably heard of a four-letter word. Y'all know some four-letter words. Don't say any now. I don't want y'all to get mad at me tonight, but I got a four-letter word that you probably heard about. And the four-letter word I want to present tonight is called, anybody ever seen this thing? Once somebody called it, one lady, she was listening to me talk, said it looks like a white hunk. I was like, what? What is this? She was like, what's that? Like, this stuff looks horrible. It's called tofu. Can you guys say tofu? Many of you guys say, I never eat tofu. I said the same exact thing. But it's not about what the tofu is or what it looks like. It's about what can you do with it. I always said to somebody, if you ever seen chicken in this without being flavored in its naked state, this like a raw piece of chicken, it don't look like the greatest thing you just want to eat. You ain't going to eat a raw piece of chicken, right? The same thing with a piece of tofu. You ain't going to want to eat a raw piece of tofu. So it's all about how you flavor it. Come on now, talk to me, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You ever had a piece of chicken that ain't taste that good? I know I did. And this is what I'm talking about. So you have a nice, delicious tofu that looks kind of like nothing special, but when you know how to make it right, oh man, your life just changes. So we're going to talk about that tonight, how to make tofu taste amazing. I'm going to go ahead and get cleaned up just a little bit. Ask my helpers to come up here a little bit. They all excited right now. I think they're mad at me because they want some of this food right now. But we're going to ask them to help me out a little bit. I'm going to clean up. Just give me 30 seconds to get cleaned up so I can get to my next recipe, if you guys don't mind. We're going to move that tray right here. I'm pretty much done with that. All right. And the mac and cheese is cooking up. You guys can wash these for me real quick. Just rinse those off for me. All right. I'm going to get my next tray up here. I'm really excited about this next recipe, guys. Going to show you guys how to make tofu that tastes amazing. We're going to make some delicious vegan scrambled eggs with our tofu. Now, you guys can see this right here. Oh, wow. This stuff is looking great. Got my mac and cheese looking amazing, y'all. Oh, wow. That's what I'm talking about. Starting to brown on there just like that, y'all. Looking great. Turn down just a little bit. Turn it down just a little bit. And we got it looking really good. Got my stovetop mac and cheese. I think Mama gonna be proud of me today. Mama gonna be proud of me today. Come on now, y'all. Got my stovetop mac and cheese looking some kind of good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for my next recipe. And we're making our delicious, again, making some vegan scrambled eggs. Vegan scrambled eggs. We're gonna move everything over here. All right, so again, talking about tofu. Many people ask me about tofu. What is tofu? Tofu is simply a soybean curd. It's made from non-GMO soybeans, really healthy. I mean, it has natural proteins, this amazing food. I mean, you can use it for so many different things. And a lot of people give soybeans a bad rep. You know, people say soy isn't good for you. It's a lot of misunderstanding about soy. People think that soy has estrogen, which is going to, pretty much cause you to have cancers and things of that nature. But soy actually has something called phytoestrogens, which actually does the exact opposite. It actually helps to control estrogen within the body. So please do your own research. But again, soy is actually great for you. It's a great form of protein. And we're going to actually learn tonight how to make a delicious recipe utilizing soy. So what I'm going to actually do is actually get a block of tofu. So this is a simple block of tofu. Got this at Smart and Final. It only cost me $1.49. $1.49. I mean, just think about how cheap that is. And I can literally get almost 8 to 10 sandwiches out of what I'm going to make right here. Or get about a good 5 or 6 servings, depending on what I'm making, okay? I'm going to pour some of this water out. All right. So I got my tofu here. And what I'm going to do, all right, turn my mac and cheese off. All right, that's looking good. put that to the side here if I can. Got my cutting boards. Gonna put this to the side here in the back. We're gonna really make our tofu here. All right, thank you, Miss Sherry. All right. So what I'm gonna do, get ready to make our tofu. Got a block of tofu here. Gonna get my gloves on. And all I'm gonna do is actually break up my tofu. I'm gonna just use my hands. I'm actually gonna just take my tofu and crumble it. It's like that. And if you guys have any questions, please write your questions down. We're going to be taking a little question and answer right at the end of this cooking demonstration. So please, if you have any questions, please write them down, and we'll be answering some questions right at the end. But all I'm doing right now is just breaking up the tofu, okay? And it's so simple. Tofu takes on any flavor, anything that you want to do with it, you can do with tofu. I'm doing a crumble. I'm going to crumble it up, and I'm going to literally make a delicious tofu scramble tonight. And after this, I'm going to actually make a delicious tofu egg omelet. You're going to be amazed at how simple this is. You can also clean this up for me as well. I'm going to need this pan as well. Thank you. It's a gravy here. All right, so got my crumble here. What I'm going to do next, all right, I'm going to take my crumble, and I'm going to add some of my special seasoning, my nutritional yeast flakes. That's going to give it that chicken kind of flavor. Again, I salted this right here, a little bit of garlic, onion powder. You can add cayenne. You can add your own onions and peppers to this. And I'm actually going to go ahead and get that started right now. My onions and peppers, I'm going to get that started before I get going on this. And so I got some onions back here. Actually, I got some onions over here. All right. Going to throw some garlic up inside of here. And we're going to make, man, I'm telling you, y'all going to be mad at me on this too, boy, I tell you. All right, so I'm going to take some of this. Again, put that to the side. I'm going to throw some onions in here. All right. Give me some onions going. Got my garlic. Got some crushed garlic here. Get some of that inside of there. All right. Get something a little smaller here. All right. Some onions and some garlic in there. Get that started. All right. Looking really good, y'all. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this up. So I'm going to go ahead and chop up my onions here. All right, that's about all I need. All right, go ahead and cut these up. We're going to go ahead and saute some onions up. It's going to be really good, y'all. So get some onions in here. Get that started here. All right. Whoa. All right, get that started right here. Okay, so right here I got my onions and garlic started. I'm gonna go ahead and add here. Go ahead and add some of my nutritional yeast flakes here. So go ahead and clean this off. All right, so I'm gonna add my nutritional yeast flakes. And so for every block of tofu, I want about 2 tablespoons of my nutritional yeast flakes, about a half a tablespoon of salt, and it's going to be right where you want it to be. And again, you can add garlic powder, onion powder, any kind of some basic flavorings right to it. You can add Bragg's liquid aminos. Any of that would give it a nice, delicious flavor. But the nutritional yeast flakes is the key ingredient for this, okay? And if I wanted to make a little bit more egg-like, I can add a little bit of turmeric, and that's going to kind of give it a little bit of color to it. You don't want to put too much turmeric. They make it taste like more like a curry. You don't want that too much turmeric. But turmeric is obviously an amazing ingredient as well. So I could add some of that to this as well. There's also something called black salt that has a natural sulfurs that give a kind of that egg-like smell and kind of gives that really egg-like experience. But this right here is a basic recipe that I use all the time. And the key is, the reason why most of us hate tofu, why we don't like tofu, is because of its texture. And what I've learned about tofu is that the way you fix the texture is that you have to learn how to cook it. And tofu obviously is packed in water. And so the key to tofu is you want to cook it long enough to cause the water to actually cook out of it, to steam off or to evaporate out of the tofu. So it's all about the timing. So, you know, in life, there's things in life that you just got to be patient for. And this is one of those recipes, you got to be patient. If you're not patient, you're not going to get the tofu the way that you want it. I always like to say, I used to always make a joke about this. You got to I call her Grandma Brown. And meaning you got to call Grandma Brown. You want this thing to brown on the bottom. So let me show you guys a technique. I'm going to go ahead and transfer my onions and garlic over here to this pan for now. And I'm going to bring this back, put my tofu here in this pan. All right. My tofu here in this. And what I'm going to do, get that nice and oiled. All right. Got my tofu right here. Got my flavors right inside of it. And the key to this, you want to spread it as thin as possible. Spread it thin. You don't want it too thick. If it's too thick, it won't get the browning effect. You want a browning effect to happen on all of the tofu, okay? You want a browning effect to happen on all of the tofu. So I want to get this thing nice and flat as much as I can. All right. There we go. Looking good, man. Oh, wow. So what I'm going to do, it's going to take about 10 minutes. So in the meanwhile, while this is cooking, we're going to get ready for our next recipe. Actually, if I can get my blender washed out, if I can. I'm going to need this here in a second. All right. Thank you, thank you. And I need another pan wash if I can, please. You can wash that out for me. Thank you. All right. So this is going to cook right up. And what I'm doing is simply browning the tofu. And when I brown the tofu, that's going to give it that nice, all that caramelization is going to come into the flavor of this, okay? So I got my seasonings, got the nice, the olive oil, got my onions and peppers, my onions and garlic over here. Looking really good. All this looking some kind of good, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and throw me a little bit of spinach on this as well. Do a little spinach, kind of have a little fun right here. Throw a little spinach on that. All right. So this is cooking. And what I'm going to do is let that cook and just let that all the flavors just marinate all inside of that. And that's the key. And what I want to encourage you guys tonight is that one thing about going vegan is not about trying to take and go vegan. Like most of us say, man, it's New Year's. I'm going vegan for the next year. And sometimes it doesn't always work out because you need a plan to go vegan. Like to say, when it comes to going vegan, it's a true lifestyle change, a true lifestyle experience. And you have to get yourself accustomed to this type of lifestyle. But one of the key things you can actually do is make sure you have the right tools. We talked about having a blender, right? The blender's getting washed right now, but you need a good blender. Also, one of the things I would recommend to anybody out there, I don't have one here to show you guys, but many of you guys know they got the Instapots, a rice cooker. Those are amazing tools for the vegan kitchen. You can make any kind of grain, rice, you can make quinoa, you can make couscous. Any of those grains are great grains to add with any vegetable, any kind of bean you want to choose, black beans, red beans, kidney beans. So there's simple ways to get your proteins, simple ways to get your healthy carbs. All of those things can be done in the vegan kitchen. And again, when you learn how to make tofu, that's amazing. You'd be surprised at what you can do. And then the great thing is there's so many companies making great vegan proteins. You heard of Beyond Meat, Impossible Foods. Our company here, we're amazing. We're actually a black-owned plant-based manufacturing company, which is one of the few in the country. So we're super excited about that. But there's so many options in health food stores now that you guys can actually get to kind of get some delicious vegan foods at home. So we're going to go ahead, keep this going. So the key to this is that you don't want to turn it, okay? So as this is cooking, you don't want to turn it. You want this to brown on the bottom. So I'm going to let that kind of go, let it brown on the bottom. It's going to take about another 3 or 4 minutes. While this is cooking, I'm going to actually get ready to make my vegan omelet. Okay, so what I have over here, got my blender. Remember I told you how important the blender is. And we're going to make a vegan omelet while the eggs are cooking. I'm going to actually get my recipes and my ingredients together. And this is a really simple recipe. It's going to be literally oats. Believe it or not, I'm going to take my tofu and my oats and make a delicious vegan egg omelet. You guys are going to get really excited about this. So I got 1 cup of tofu. I'm going to throw that inside of here. 1 cup of tofu. I got 1 cup of oats. All right, 1 cup of oats. All right. And I'm going to do about 1.5 cups of water. So again, the base recipe for this is 1 cup of oats, 1 cup of tofu, and 1.5 cups of water, okay? And so I'm going to get that all ready to go. And I'm going to check my eggs right now. So remember that, 1 cup of tofu, 1 cup of oats, 1.5 cup of water. We're going to blend that in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and check my tofu here, see how it looks. It's starting to get a brown. It's not really ready yet. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it still kind of has, it's almost there. I wanted to get even more brown. And what's happening right now is this liquid out of the tofu is evaporating. Remember, tofu is packed in water. The reason why you don't like the texture, because that while it's packed in that water, it has kind of like a slimy, kind of weird kind of mouthfeel. And what you're doing is as you cook it, you're evaporating the water from the product, and you're getting that texture. You're creating that texture through caramelization. And that's going to make the flavor of this tofu come to life. It's going to make the texture come to life. And you're going to be amazed when you try the samples how delicious this can actually be. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go. Let it keep browning. Let it do what it do. Let that just marinate. I'm excited. Let it just marinate. Can you guys say marinate at home? All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to add me about 2 tablespoons of seasoning to this. About 2 tablespoons of seasoning right to this recipe right here. All right. And after this, I'm going to go ahead and blend it up. And this is going to be the base. After that, I'm going to actually saute. You guys love omelets. You can add spinach. You can add onions. You can add peppers. You can squash, all kind of different things to your actual, to your tofu omelet. And what this is going to do when I blend this, it's going to make a delicious pancake consistency, a nice pancake consistency, okay? All right, there we go. There we go. All right, there we go. So literally it's making a pancake-like consistency, all right? Making a pancake-like consistency. I'm gonna let that sit for just a second here. And we're gonna check our tofu, starting to look really good. Starting to get that, oh, there we go. It's almost just right, right? So it's starting to, all that water is you can see it kind of evaporating out. The oil's kind of starting to absorb. So what's happening, the water's evaporating, and the oil from the olive oil, it's actually absorbing inside of the tofu, and that's giving that flavor, that delicious mouthfeel. All that's happening. So you kind of can see how it browned up real nice. Oh, there we go. So all that browning is happening. So that's kind of coming together, making a nice natural egg. Again, I normally would add a little bit of turmeric. I think we have the turmeric in the back. Can you go get that for me if you can? I'm going to add a little turmeric, add a little color to this, and that's going to give a nice color to it. And I'm telling you, man, whoever getting the samples now, you guys are going to be so excited. It's going to taste some kind of good. It's going to be so delicious. Add some of this right to it, some of the mix of the caramelized onions and peppers, and that's going to be so kind of good, y'all. It's going to be some kind of delicious. Add that right to it. It's going to be delicious. So I'm excited how this is going to come out. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm getting ready. Just get my pan clean. You guys can wash this pan for me if you can. Getting ready to put my, thanks for the turmeric. We got some great helpers, y'all. All right, so we got some turmeric here. Going to throw some of that right inside of here. That's going to give a little bit of that yellow color. Going to add that both to my, all right, so there we go. There we go. So it's kind of giving a little bit more of that yellow color. It's coming out now, kind of giving that egg-like look, all right? And the key again is I'm letting it brown, letting all that browning happen. So it obviously takes a lot more time than regular eggs. But again, you know, regular eggs is delicious. I mean, we love regular eggs, but the challenge is that it has a lot of cholesterol. Not the greatest food to eat a lot of, which is a part of the American culture. Eggs for breakfast, eggs and bacon, eggs and sausage, eggs and sandwich, egg salad. And so again, obviously you can do the whites of the egg, which is a lot better if you're going to do eggs. But this is a way that you can have a delicious egg without actually having any of the cholesterol. Very low in calories. It's a great product that you can do right at home. You kind of can see how good that's looking. Come on now, it's looking so kind of good. Talk to me. If you can give me some more oats if you can, if you don't mind. All right. So here we go. You guys can see that right here. Oh, man. And what I like to do with this, I make a breakfast burrito with this. I might make a delicious egg, a nice taco, egg tacos, add a little bit of salsa and pico de gallo. Any of that can be done with this. If you actually let it get cold, once it actually sits in the refrigerator, you can actually add mayo to it and make your own egg salad. It's amazing. So you can actually literally take this same recipe, make your own scratch-made egg salad, which is also delicious as well. So I'm really excited about that. I don't know how are we on time? How are we looking on time? I want to make sure I'm not going too long. I know I can talk a lot. I want to make sure our time is good. What time is it? 7:59. Oh, 7:59, okay. All right, we're going to finish up on the egg omelet and take any questions from anybody that we have. I'm going to add, make sure I have this texture is just right. All right. All right. Here we go. All right, so I got my season finale here. I'm excited about it. Eggs are done. So again, looking good over here. Gonna go ahead and get ready for the egg omelet. Hope you guys are excited as much as I am. All right, let's get the pan on right here. And please, if you have questions, we're gonna take a few questions. If you have any questions after we're finished, I'm gonna end right here with this delicious egg omelet. Gonna go ahead and get these on right here. All right, so I got my, throw me some spinach. I'm gonna do a spinach egg omelet. So I'm gonna go ahead and add me a little bit of garlic again. A little bit of garlic again. One thing I love, man, these burners are pretty amazing. You wanna go camping during COVID, you can take these burners anywhere. And you can literally make everything I'm making right outside. It's all amazing. All right, so here we go. Gonna get my spinach ready to go for my omelet. All right. Go my oil over here. That's ready to go. I'm gonna turn this down some. And I'm gonna simply put my mixture here, my 1 cup of oats, my 1 cup of tofu, a cup and a half of water with my seasonings, a little bit of turmeric for color. And we're gonna go ahead and put this right in here. Turn this down. Make sure it's not too hot. This is ready to go. All right. A little bit too much oil here. So go ahead and put this back here. Don't want too much oil. All right. All right, it's like a pancake consistency that I want here. All right. All right. So what I want to do on this is that my whole concept is that I want the actual tofu. My burner turned off. All right. There we go. What I want this to do is to bubble up like a pancake. And it's simply going to make like a pancake texture. And once you see it bubbles, obviously we're going to start adding some of our ingredients to it. And what I have here is my spinach. I'm gonna add this a little bit more. Just a little bit more. All right, a little bit more. So I want to make that pancake-like texture. All right, here we go. You're gonna see it bubble up just like a pancake. It's gonna look some kind of good. So what I'm gonna do here, got some of my cheese again. Let it go for like another 30 seconds. Once it starts boiling, starts bubbling, I'm gonna add my cheese. I'm gonna add some of my spinach. And literally you can add any kind of vegetable you want. I got some mushrooms. I don't have a little time to do the mushrooms tonight, but you can add mushrooms, any kind of like egg omelet, onions, peppers, whatever you wanna do. And it's gonna be really easy to make right at home. All right? All right, looking good. All right, so let it cook just a little bit longer. You guys will be really amazed when you see this. All right, so here we go. A little bit of cheese. A little bit of cheese on here. Got my double cheese, mozzarella, cheddar cheese. Looking really good. All right. Gonna add some spinach right on top. Spinach all on there, just nice and delicious. All right. All right, so I got my spinach. I'm gonna get ready to do this. Gonna flip this over. All right, let it cook just a little longer. And once I flip this, it's gonna have all that flavor all on top of that. All right, I'm gonna flip that over. This one didn't come out as good as I wanted to. It's a little bit too liquidy, but once I let it cook just a little bit longer, it's gonna flip over. So I'm gonna actually have fun this now. I'm gonna have some fun this time around. All right, I'm gonna flip it. All right, here we go. Just like at the, you go to the hotels. There we go, I got it, it worked out. There we go. So we got an omelet cooking. Pan was a little hotter than I wanted to, but you guys can kind of get the idea. Again, I'm not working at home in my own kitchen, but you kind of get the idea. Makes a nice omelet-like, a little darker than I wanted, but again, it makes a delicious omelet. Again, it's pretty much almost there. Another 30 seconds or so, minute or so, have a delicious omelet made in minutes. And again, a little darker than I wanted, but you guys can still see how it makes a delicious omelet-like texture here. There we go. It's like that. All right. So really amazing. You can make egg omelets. You can make your delicious tofu scramble with the tofu. It's a four-letter word, but it's actually a great four-letter word. It's something that you can actually use right at home, something that's really delicious. And I hope that you guys enjoyed the class tonight. And I want to, if you guys have any questions, we're taking some questions from the audience right now. But you guys know my name. My name is Chef Chew. And as I always say, going to give you something to chew on. So we can take any questions that we might have, and Miss Sherry is going to help us now with that.
Great. We're ready for questions. Okay. Is there an alternative to cashews if you're allergic to cashews or some nuts?
Absolutely. I mean, so there's, you know, when it comes to making different types of, I guess where am I looking? Okay, so I'm going to look at this camera here. So, yeah, so it's definitely many alternatives when it comes to if you're allergic to the cashews. That's you notice, again, you can use, especially for salad dressings, you can actually just omit the actual cashews and just go with the oil-based dressing. If it's just a technique that you can actually do with the blender, that can actually, if you blend it for long enough, the oil and the water actually will begin to actually emulsify if you blend it long enough. So that's one concept. You can also use an avocado. That's pretty much probably one of the best techniques to get that natural fat. It's probably using an actual avocado in place of the cashews. So in that same recipe, if you wanted to go with a simple an avocado in that same oil or water, avocado actually also works as an emulsifier to replace the nut as well.
Okay, great. The next question, have you tried cooking with jackfruit? And if so, what recipes have you made?
You know, jackfruit is also similar to tofu. It's really the technique and how you cook it. I don't use jackfruit personally that much, but I know a lot of people that do use jackfruit. But I know the key to jackfruit is really the flavoring and the method of preparation. Jackfruit also has its own kind of unique flavor. So one thing you don't want to have with jackfruit, you don't want it to be overripe. If it gets overripe, it has a really unique smell that can turn you off. But you got to make sure you look at the ripeness, also the water content, making sure you kind of cook it where that texture can really kind of get to where it's not kind of slimy, but you want that meatiness to come out. So it's all about the cooking preparations and just making sure it's not overripe when you actually use the jackfruit, is what I found.
Okay, another question. How long does the cashew salad dressing stay good?
Yeah, so again, I would add, if you wanted to have a longer shelf life, one thing you can actually do is freeze it. So you can actually freeze it, and it'll last as long as, you know, well, not forever, but it'll last obviously months at a time if you actually freeze it, take it out. And then what you do out the freezer, you can simply just re-blend it, maybe add a little water if you need to, and it'll reconstitute itself. What you can do, if you just want to make it small amounts, add a lemon juice. That's going to give an acidic acid to it. It's going to help to stop the bacterial growth, which is going to give a longer shelf life. So again, use the same recipe that I shared with you guys, and the lemon juice is going to help to actually give it a longer shelf life in the refrigerator. Okay,
next question. Is there a supplement for nutritional yeast if you don't like the flavor?
Absolutely. I mean, so, you know, again, nutritional yeast flakes is has a natural glutamate. Bragg's liquid aminos, as I shared earlier, is actually a really awesome, you know, substitute for, you know, nutritional yeast flakes. Or simply just using different flavorings. There's so many flavorings, seasoning blends. I mean, there's thousands of seasoning blends in the market that doesn't have, you know, any type of bad ingredient. And so they have special seasoning blends out there. I would just experiment. It's really the kind of the salt, the oil, not too much oil, but having the salt, the fat, and just having some different types of flavoring that you like and that tastes good to you. I would, you know, think and try those things if I were you.
Okay, I want to share, there is another question, but I want to share a couple comments. Rose says the food is looking yummy and she can't wait to try the recipes herself.
Awesome.
And also another viewer comment, Flora says her 99-year-old mother is watching and enjoying the show.
Cool.
All right. It's never too late.
There you go. Never too late. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, someone says, I thought it was best to drain tofu. Can you explain why you didn't drain the tofu?
Well, actually, I actually did drain the tofu. I'm sorry, I didn't actually explain that. Forgive me. I actually drained it prior to coming here on the set. But definitely you want to drain it because, again, the whole concept of getting that tofu to get that great texture is getting that water out of it. So obviously, you know, draining it. Some people get like, you know, towels and kind of like let the water soak out of it. I pretty much allowed it to kind of be done during the cooking process. And so again, yes, you drain the tofu and let it cook on a medium heat and let it just evaporate off to kind of let that texture kind of create, you know, with the product.
Okay, we want to know, have you ever tried freezing the tofu, because we know that kind of changes the consistency?
Absolutely. So yes, obviously freezing the tofu definitely gives a different texture for the tofu. So that's a great technique, you know, for people that's really trying. You can take the tofu, freeze it. Once it thaws out, you can cut it into different types of shapes, whether it's beef, like not beef chunks, I'm sorry, but if you want to do like a chunk, you know, different cuts, you know, like slices and marinate it. There's so many things you can do with tofu, and there's thousands of recipes online how you can use tofu in 1,000 different ways. And so definitely, please, just go to YouTube, and you'll find many different types of ways to use tofu.
Wonderful. Okay, so I think that's all of our questions for the night, but I want to say thank you so much, GW Chew. It was fantastic. Mouth-watering. Our mouths are watering over here, and we just can't wait to taste it all. Although we've already tasted your food. Chris and I are always in Oakland, and we're always there at your restaurant. We just want to encourage people to try some of these recipes. It's a great time to enjoy good food and better health. We'd like for you, if you've enjoyed the program tonight, to please like and subscribe to this channel, and YouTube will notify you when there are new videos that are posted. So let us know if you enjoyed this and anything else you'd like to see. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chef.
This one to end on, definitely want to encourage you guys, if you ever go to Sacramento, if you ever go to Fresno, we actually, hopefully in the next few months, hopefully by mid-year, you'll be able to get these products shipped to your home. This is our Better Chew fried chicken, our Better Chew steak. You can look us up online. Our company is called Something Better Foods. So somethingbetterfoods.com. Please check us out and check out our product called Better Chew. And it's a great protein source. Like I said, it looks like chicken, tastes like chicken, but guess what? It ain't chicken. Crispy on the outside and white in the middle. It's delicious.
Thank you again. We also want to thank our pastor, Pastor Base. Thank you so much for taking care of the technical things behind the scenes, as well as just encouraging us to do this. We want to thank you so much, and thank you, Chef Chew.